Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Just when you finish your video talking about the brand new 40 levels of Renown that are coming in 9.1, and in that video you say specifically, we don't know anything about flying, and then all of a sudden, the very next day, we have some information. Yeah, I think that's called Sod's Law. Thanks for that, Blizz. So back during BlizzCon, Blizzard stated that we would not require the old school rep grinds that we've become used to gain flying, or the Pathfinder achievement as we know. Instead, it will be part of our story progression, our campaign with our various covenants. And no longer will we need to worry about, as we said, the Pathfinder achievement. It's gone, which for many is actually relief, but for others a source of frustration. Love it or hate it, Pathfinder was at least something to work towards. It was a set of tick boxes that you needed. You knew where you were. And in a game that at times can be so overwhelming in the freedom, the things we can choose to do, it was nice to know where we were, to know what it was we wanted, what our goals were, how far we were through that. It was nice and simple. It was clean. I mean, granted, okay, maybe not as simple as just purchasing flying with gold, but on a personal note, I will say I much prefer completing a set of achievements than having to spend hundreds of thousands of gold just to learn to fly. Because, let's not beat around the bush, that's where we would be now. The way gold has ramped up over the course of the expansions, to make gaining flying meaningful, it would have to cost a lot of gold. And Pathfinder was a nice middle ground. We get to see the world that the developers, the art team have created from the ground. And as we do, we naturally progress towards our reps, our story, and of course the exploration of that zone. And by the time we finally unlock flying, we appreciate the fact that we can fly all the more. Fantastic. But now we have access to patch 9.1 on the PTR. We can see when the last Renown of the story ends, which is at 59. After that, it's just an endless sea of soulbind upgrades. Now bear in mind, on PTR we can't currently test the Renown because we can't gain any new Renown levels. That means we have no idea at what point we actually gain flying. We know it's tied to the campaign, and as I say, we simply know that at 59, after that there's no more campaign storylines. So a lot of people are saying, oh my god, it's going to be 6 or 7 weeks before we can gain flying. But it may be the very first campaign story gives us our reward for all of the service that we've already done for our covenants. We are going to talk briefly about the story for 9.1 that's coming up. So if you really don't want to know that, jump to this time code and it will just skip over any of these spoilers and keep it all fresh for you. Okay, so for those of you that are staying, the intro story to 9.1 has you heading into the moor to gain Venari's help. Korthia, however it's pronounced, has appeared. It's been pulled forth from another dimension by the jailer. We need to go exploring. Once you arrive, you are greeted and, for want of a better word, experimented on. All in the aid of granting us the use of our full powers as this amazing Moor Walker. By the way, this actually almost kills us, and Venari has to explain. I can't even do the voice, but you can imagine how deadpan it comes across. It's fantastic. It's not much use, the Moor Walker having all of their powers unlocked if they are dead. Yeah, during the course of the experimentation, our health is actually rapidly dropping. So, yeah, thanks Venari for saving us there. So the reason I bring this up is it would seem a little silly if within, 40 minutes of 9.1 dropping, we have all but conquered the moor. We have access to areas once locked behind rep. Also, and more importantly, there was an unintentional bad dad joke, I apologise for that. We can actually ride in the moor. So we gain all of that in the first 40 minutes, and yet can't fly for maybe 6 or 7 weeks? Really? Really?
Why?
Now you may be asking yourself, what the hell is Memories of a Sunless Sky, Grim? What? What the hell is that? Well, this is the account-wide unlock for riding in Shadowlands that we're going to gain completing the campaign storyline. Currently, it's unknown if this item is going to actually be baked into the game. So simply, you reach a point where you have gained flying as your reward, you accept, and bang, you have flying. Or if it's going to stay as it currently is on PTR, which is an actual item. Which isn't such a problem if you simply need to click on this item and it unlocks flying on all of your accounts. My guess is it's going to stay with the achievement style, so as soon as you get it, you just have it. That's the way it works with regards to your more powers being unlocked. Once you complete that quest, you just simply have those powers. It's done. I'm hoping it doesn't... If any of you remember in BFA when we had the book that you could gain that gave all the flight points to your ults, you literally had to send that to each one of your ults, click on it to learn it. It was a complete pain. I'm hoping it's not like that. I'm hoping that the way it is on PTR is simply because it is PTR and that's an easy way just to give us this item. Now, gaining flying is one thing. That's fantastic. That's the big cake. But there is a little cherry on top as well, because once we gain flying, we are also going to unlock. We're going to gain access to our Covenant mounts. No. I know what you're thinking. Grim, I've already got my Covenant mounts. We get our new flying mounts. Yes. For all the work, all the effort we've put in, we are going to gain the flying mounts. So first up, we're going to look at the Kyrian. They gain access to the Elysium Aquilon. And I've got to say, this reminds me a lot of, and the name escapes me now, but the Priest mount from Legion. If you remember doing the storyline for the Priest, this kind of looks like a mechanical version of that mount. I really like this mount, I've got to say. It's one of my favourites out of the 4 that we're going to have a quick look at. That cannot be said for the next one. Yes, next up we have the Maldraxian Corpsefly harness. So let's hang on here. Let's take a second, okay? Let's just wait. The military wing of Shadowlands. The Covenant that values might above all other things. You literally have to win a gladiatorial battle against hordes just to enter the zone the first time. Led by none other than Draka, the mother of Thrall, and one hell of a badass in her own right. The mount they have chosen to give you is a fly. I'll say that again. It's a fly. I don't really have anything else to say to that. So we should move swiftly on. Yes, we are going to look at... Now this one I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest not to break into song. But I know we're all thinking the never-ending story when we see it. I know. Yep, up next is the Night Fae mount. The Ardenweald Wildling harness. I know some will moan. Oh great. It's another serpent-style mount. But I'll be honest. It is a pretty looking mount. It fits the theme for Ardenweald perfectly, and that's all you can ask for. You know, let's be honest, Night Fae players. You may be saying, "Oh, it's another serpent. Oh, I don't really like it." But you want this or a fly? Yeah, just be grateful for what you got. But last of all, ladies and gentlemen, we have the amazing, the stunning, breathtaking, Sinful Gravewing. And no, before you jump in and say it, it's not because I'm a biased Venthyr player. Oh, cool, no. Granted, like the Serpent, we have seen this kind of model before. In Legion it was used a lot, and also actually in BFA, it was used as the Darkshore Horde mount, that same sort of skeleton that it's built upon. But let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. WoW has been around for a long time. In WoW's life, there really isn't a model of a mount that hasn't been used multiple times. And I don't really care. I don't really care if it looks like a horse or a serpent or whatever structure they've built it upon. As long as it looks interesting and cool, I'm up for it. And at least, if nothing else, these 4 mounts are different and varied enough that they've got people talking. Some people love the fly. There are others that are just all about that Kyrian lion. Others actually really love the serpent. They do think it really fits the Night Fae theme. And I'm one of those. I actually think it's a really cool mount. Granted, deep down they all want that Venthyr mount. Damn it, I did it again. That's the bias coming out. I need to stop that. Now at this point, my guess is that we are going to be given one version as sort of a reward for the campaign storyline, and then we'll either be able to purchase the others, the various colour stylings and what have you, with maybe anima, maybe gold, or maybe it's going to be tied to the the various aspects of the Covenant. So like the table, the travel network, your abomination factory, or your tea parties that you can hold, whatever it may be. And that's how you'll unlock the others. I have to say, I'm liking what I see so far from 9.1. And I'm up for giving this new way of unlocking flying a go. Yeah, okay. Granted, I understand that if you're one of those people that as soon as the patch drops, you're in there. You do everything that's required as fast as possible, and you just like a bull in a china shop, just go for it. Then yeah, there is a chance that you're going to have to be reined in. You're going to unlock this slower. So rather than getting this in the first week, instead you might be stuck with the masses and have to wait for 6, maybe even 7 weeks. But you know what? Here's a crazy thought. If it means that people aren't getting burnt out, if they know they can't rush and it's just naturally going to come to them, if it means that players don't suddenly get a feeling that they're missing out because they're stuck on the ground and they're watching somebody fly above them, if it makes it so that players don't have a feeling that they're falling behind, that is a good thing. We have to face facts that nowadays the idea of playing all day, every day, 18 hours a day and that rewarding so much more, they're gone. WoW cannot survive with that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset. It will not bring in new players. It certainly won't keep new players. And that has to be the end goal for Blizzard, keeping players playing. Which means that we're paying. In this day and age, if players feel that they have fallen too far behind, they'll just quit. There's so many games out there, they'll just move on to something else. And as much as us old school MMOers may moan and say, well, that's not in the spirit of the game, you get out of it what you put into it. That's not the spirit of modern gaming. And that spirit is here to stay. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is enough from me. I've gone on long enough. I want to thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and hopefully when we finally get patch 9.1 drop in, I will see you all in the skies above Shadowlands. Until then, I'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. Laters.